Hi, Brad Connors here with FDC Plan on Purpose, 4 days coming Plan on Purpose. Super excited that you decided to take this journey to level up your client meetings and have the best client meetings of your life. This tool was designed by me for my team so that we could best articulate our value with the financial plans that we're doing for our clients. I believe the advisor in the future is the advisor that can sit down and help the clients with the questions they don't even know what to ask AI, and to be able to articulate their value by helping them solve problems and document it in front of them. Lastly, to be able to let them see that data they're curating for them with their family. So let's get started. I would suggest that you go and do this for yourself first and foremost so that you kind of walk yourself through and can understand. But let's say you had a client meeting today and it's time to get going. The first thing you would do is under client actions is you would add a client. And when this pops up, you'll add the first name of the client, so Joe Smith, and then the email, joe@smith.com. Super important with the email. That's what we use in order to link it back to the CRM. So if you have this link to one of the CRMs that we are sharing data with, that's what you're going to use. So the email needs to match that CRM that you're using. Then who's the advisor that's assigned to? Does the client have access? Typically, I give read only, and you can send them an email right from here to give it to them. If they don't even know about it, I wouldn't do that until you have a meeting with them. Track annual review. If you're a registered investment advisory and you need to have an annual review every year, the system will start keeping track of that and keeping score for you. So it'd be yes, and then maybe today's the date that you have that annual review meeting. So once you add the client, what's going to happen is it's going to pop up to the client-facing screen. Once we get to the client-facing screen, Joe's married, so we're going to add a family member, and we're going to type in Sue Smith. So again, email, that's different. And so now we have their names in here. We have this future section we'll get back to in a second. And then we're going to go over here to find your gaps. Once you go to find your gaps and you're in this section, there's only 2 pages you're going to show the client. The one I just showed you, which we'll go back to, and this section. In this section, we've got short, intermediate, and long-term goals. Why I'm speaking to a client. What I will typically do is keep score of the things that we need to work on. So I'll add a bullet in here and get the SSI info. Get the will, get the 401k statement. What are those things that you need in order to continue the conversations in future meetings that you've had? Intermediate, 1 to 3, long-term, 3+ years. So those are just data that you're putting in. You got rich text editor, so you can, indent, do whatever you want there. Then under lifetime plan on purpose, there's a lifetime plan score. And as the client comes in, I'll do the setup in a minute on how I walk it through it. But what I would do is I would open this up prior to that meeting you have today. And I would go to open. All these are open. These are all the things that you can talk to your client about today. Obviously, it's going to take a long time to go through these. You're just going to grab the ones you want to talk about. I think I would go ahead and put needs attention on beneficiaries. I would open this up and I would put IRA co. I'd put the primary would be Sue, and the contingent children. And then I would put Roth, IRA co. Same, I'd put the primary, I'd put the contingent, so on and so forth. So you can have a beneficiary review when they come in. So I do beneficiaries, I believe, if I were a brand new meeting with a client. I'd want to talk to them whether they have their legal documents in order. So I'm just going to put needs attention on these. Then up here, long-term care, debt, Social Security, family plan, outside assets, taxes. Maybe we want to make sure they brought their tax returns in. We'll grab that. Maybe that's it. Now, if you go up here and you just click needs attention, these are just the ones that we just said that we want to work on in that client meeting today. Okay. So then if you go back and you click on their name, this will take you back to page 1. So now client walks in for the client meeting. We're at the client meeting. And whether they've been a client for 10 years or a brand new client, the conversation is this. Listen, we're using this new tool called FDC Plan On Purpose, 4 days coming, Plan On Purpose. And it allows us to walk through the financial plan we've been working on with you for 10 plus years. Or we're going to get this started to work on with you. What I'd like you to do, first of all, it's kind of fun. Sue, and I typically would start with a lady. Sue, why don't you pick an avatar for the future? What looks fun to you? And they'll study this. And I've not had a client in 6+ years say no to this. They could be 18 or they could be 80. Something in here looks important to them. And so she might say, hey, I want to go to Italy someday. And then I'll say, Joe, what looks important to you? What looks fun to you? And maybe it's a red sports car for him. When they come in for their next meeting, I'll be like, Joe, you been in that car? How about you, Sue? Have you been to Italy yet? It's just a conversational point, but it's an avatar of what they're looking forward to in the future. And then down here's the R factor question from Dan Sullivan. If we met 12 months from now, what has to take place in your life, both personally and professionally, for you to be happy? What are you most looking forward to? And then I start to document what that is. Maybe they want to be healthy. Go fishing up north. See the children in Florida. Travel to Spain. Whatever those things are, I'm going to ask them until they're done telling me. The next 12 months, what has to happen personally and professionally for you to be happy? What's key about this question is it's all about them and nothing about you. What's important to them going forward? Because you're going to help make their dreams come true. So then you're going to time, date, stamp it for today. And then you're going to click on here to the right and you say, listen, this is where we're going to keep track of some of the goals that you have, short, intermediate, and long term. Those things that are really important to you, we're going to inventory these and you're going to have access to them as well. But what we're really going to work on is this lifetime plan score. This lifetime plan score is 0 to 100%, and it's going to take years to get to 100%. I know we've worked together the past 10 years. I'm just going to focus on a couple of these today. Or I know that we're just getting started, so it's going to take a long time, but we're going to focus on some of these that are most important. These are all the things that we're going to work on over time. But what I want to show you is just the things today that I want to focus on. I want to focus on your beneficiaries. This is what I show as your beneficiaries, but let's talk about your 401k. And maybe down here, we'll add in 401k plan. And I want to add in who's the contingent and who's the primary. Who's the primary and who's the contingent. And then I'm going to time date stamp this. And if we're done, I'm going to hit completed, close this, and they're going to see that they now have a 5% lifetime plan on purpose score. Then I'm going to pop up here to legal and say, hey, is your will done? And they're going to tell me yes or no. Not at this time. Now, this is a priority. We know that they need to have a will. We'll time date stamp, and then up here, I'm going to put get the will done ASAP. So along with that, then I'm going to ask about their power of attorney. Nothing. So this still needs attention. Not at this time. I'm going to time date stamp this as well. And obviously healthcare directive. Not at this time. Time date stamp. Okay. So we just covered those with them. We've time date stamped that they need attention. I'm going to go up here and get the will done ASAP and healthcare directives and POA. However you want to put that, but that's a priority that we need to work on. How about taxes? You know, what I would put in here is CPA is Joe Johnson in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then I would put down reviewed 2025 return and on file. You know, what's the story around taxes? Time date stamp. Maybe we're good because we have them and that's completed. And now their lifetime plan score jumps to 10%. What are the things that you want to talk about with them that day? And if they're existing clients, it's okay. When I first started this, I had clients that were clients for 15 years. We just went through and we completed all these tasks. When did you turn on Social Security again? Made an enter, hit completed. When did we put your long-term care policies in place? I'd enter what the long-term care policies were, what the story is around them, hit completed, and we watched that lifetime plan on purpose score grow. These are all super important things to your clients. This is what they're hiring you to do, is to walk them through all these different things. But I don't want this to be overwhelming. And so today's video is all about creating the space for you to be able to jump into meetings. Do this one client at a time. Don't enter your whole client database in here. One client at a time, one meeting at a time, and this will slowly get built out for you. But it's an excellent way to have a meeting. I'm so excited to hear about all your success. Let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything we can do to help you and make it a great day.